of Does Your God Sleep? A project exploring Nigerians' perspectives on fear, God, and the roles that fear and God play in society. In this episode, participants discuss whether they fear God. Here they reflect on the idea of the fear of God and their perspectives on self-worship, the relationship between Lord and servant, how perfect love casts out fear, fear as awe, fear as reverence, and what hell has to do with the question. Do you fear God? Why or why not?
Yes, I fear God. I fear God for not because if I don't fear Him, He'll kill me. I don't fear Him in the Bible. To rephrase, to me, I would say I reference Him.
So you reverence Him, but do you fear Him?
To fear Him, yes, I fear Him. I have the fear of God. Having the fear of God is, I know He doesn't like this. So I want to because God doesn't like that. Yes.
The expression fear of God often means a completely different thing from what people think it means. But no, I don't fear God. Right? He's not harmful.
Okay.
Right? Yes, I fear God because He's to be respected. And fear of God, I blame Victorian English for this. The expression was always that, if you look at translations from, Hebrew, Aramaic, blah, 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 to Victorian English, Christian tradition is dominated a lot by Victorian English because, certain king asked for a translation of the Bible and blah, blah, blah. Those expressions now, there's a way people use certain words. And fear of God is one of them where what you mean is respect or like awe. I've never been able to understand it, but I've heard people describe going to the Grand Canyon and looking and just being lost because it's an awe-inspiring thing. In my mind, I'm like, it's just a huge hole in the ground. That's the man, right? But I will not minimize their experiences, considering there must have been a connection they made and all that. So fear of God is meant to be the awe. Am I in awe? If you were to ask me, am I in awe of God? Yes. The why would be track record, the things I've heard and seen Him do, who He is as a concept. To be honest, describing that one person has all that power and can do all that and can survive all of that, because if you look at the history of Earth as a tangible thing, He lived, ask her, sometimes getting up from bed to go to work, I'm just like, I'm tired. But He's seen all of that. Now multiply that by the billions of people that have existed. I beg, right? That's as a concept alone, that's supposed to be something to, I'm putting this in like fear, right? So if you yes, I fear God because He's awesome, like incredibly awesome.
You said you fear God. Why not?
I'm more in awe, right? Because I've described what it feels like to fear. I don't feel that. And it says, perfect love, self-fear. And that's what I see God as, like He's love to me. So I'm constantly reminded that, like He said, these things, there's context to it, right? You hear that growing up and you're like, okay, this is what it's meant to be. You are terrified of this guy. You don't do bad things. And it's not even that, right? So growing into a relationship is understanding that, this is, like, it's just constant awe. And sometimes it can mean not even understanding anything. Going back to loss, I didn't get it when I lost the people that I loved, right? But I had to look at it and say, are you telling me that you're still good? Like, even right now, when it feels like my world is... And there was a reasonableness. Because that's what it is, right? My experiences don't take away from who He is. And it's still the thing that I felt like it's still him that helps me through all of that. So no, I don't fear him. I'm in awe. Get mad at him sometimes. What? But no, it's not fear.
I fear God. And I fear him because I just said earlier, they are Ramon and Arahim in him. The fact that you can do and not do. The fact that you don't even know whether it's on your side or not. I fear that.
How about you, Jeremy?
Yeah, I say I fear God. That's what created everything and can destroy everything.
I don't fear God because when I stop fearing him, nothing happens. Number one. And number two, it doesn't negatively or positively influence my life in any way. It's just a redundant event for me. So I just don't bother.
Do you fear what's God to you? Like, so God to you now being like technology and exploration, do you fear that?
Yeah, sometimes I have an eerie feeling because obviously all of that is bigger than myself. So just the thought of something so grand is mind blowing. Like even this morning I was thinking about how I wish I could live for 1,000 years just to see like what this would eventually turn out to be. But like apart from that, no.
Stella, do you fear God? Why not?
I do. 2 reasons. It's like, okay, this being is bigger, it's supernatural basically, and you are literally this, like in comparison to his power and everything, you're smaller, you get. And naturally that inspires fear. Then also it's that the relationship of Lord, right, and servant. You fear your Lord. That's basically it.
Yeah, I do fear God because
I've seen where somebody really loves God a lot is being threatened by somebody else. My person is possible kind. But that's my own belief. Everybody has their own belief, thinking that it's just not what really happened. And apart from that too, we said why and why not.
Why? Oh, like if you do.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I actually want to add that like I may not fear like what I perceive as God, but I fear what human beings may use that for. Like then again, I nobody knows what the future is going to be, but we have our very powerful tools in our hands, and because of our selfishness, because of greed, because of a lot of things, a lot of these processes can get corrupt and can, on a larger scale, do more ill to people. And again, most of the people who are in charge of these processes either want it for, I mean, there are obviously people who are doing it for their own posterity's sake so that their names are stamped in all of these. But there are also people who are doing it for money and they don't care what gets caught up in the process.
Okay, so yes, I fear God. I fear God because I know that. First of all, I don't want to go to hell. You know, and other things. Well, well, apart from not going to, I feel like there are things that are not morally right. Whether normally anything we are doing, we don't. Anything one is doing, we don't. For believers, anything one is doing, we don't exclude God. But whether God is involved or not, you know that okay, this thing is not right. Don't just go about killing people. You shouldn't just steal from somebody. You shouldn't just do something bad. So that's that moral, moral is there. But I fear God. I fear God because it is. Well, yeah, also yes, and if you want something positive to happen in your life too, That fear of God has to be there too.
I don't fear God. I don't fear God. Not the God I was taught to know, not the one I made for myself. I don't fear them. Honestly, I think I just never learned to fear them. Yeah. I think my version of the Christian God, however I was taught it, was not the Old Testament God. Because that version was moving a bit. Yeah. So it was not that good. And definitely not what I've chosen for myself. I don't feel God. How about you, don't?
Can't fear myself.
Be afraid of yourself.
I don't fear God. I don't fear. I fear losing. Yeah, but I don't fear.
Yeah.
Would you fear losing your higher self? Which is the other one?
I think my higher self's yeah, I mean, I can't lose my higher self. My higher self's higher. If I lose the higher self, I lost everything.
Yeah.
Same thing, keep the higher self first, then these other selves. At some point in my life, I consider having where I worship just myself. And I want to encourage them to worship themselves as well. It's not like you should be selfish or not care about other people. But take care of yourself first before you try and take care of other people. It will make life easier for you. It will make life easier for people you care about. I can imagine if I had to burden everybody with everything else, what would I care about? But I have myself, so I can take care of that first, then I can come out and laugh and chew. If I want to let you in, I'll let you in. I'll show you.
If you're listening to this and you'd love to share your own answers or thoughts on the questions, please, I'd love to hear from you. Write or record a VN and send to hello@studiostyles.org. I may do an episode of just listeners' thoughts, questions, feedback. Who knows? I don't know. It depends on whatever you will send to me at the end of the day.